Ricardo here. Some of y'all are scratching your head and asking the question after that last video of mine. Ricardo, what are you talking about? Hurricane Elsa? God's promise? God speaking to us? Let me explain to you. If you go to the book of Job, you're going to find out that God spoke to Job through a very specific thing. If you go and study it out, you'll see that God spoke to Job through the whirlwind. Well, a whirlwind is a hurricane, or a hurricane is a whirlwind, whichever way you want to look at it. If God spoke to Job through a whirlwind, why wouldn't God speak to us today through a whirlwind? That's my point to you. Now, God can't speak to you if you don't have ears to hear. Jesus says 7 times in the 7 letters to the 7 churches in the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and 3, let him that has ears hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. Now, I would submit to you that the Holy Spirit, God, is speaking to everybody that has ears to hear through Hurricane Elsa. And Hurricane Elsa is headed toward the United States. It's roaring quickly and loudly. And all you're going to hear on the news and the Weather Channel the next week is Hurricane Elsa, Hurricane Elsa, Hurricane Elsa, Hurricane Elsa. And you're going to be hearing God's promise, God's promise, God's promise. And what is God's promise? God's promise is to redeem us, His covenant with us. If we believe in the gospel, which is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, the first 4 verses, if you believe that gospel truth, then you have accepted the covenant with God. You are in a covenant with Him. He has promised to save you, your whole spirit, soul, and body. He's going to save it. And He gave us an earnest on that contract. He gave us a piece of Himself. He gave us a piece of the Holy Spirit into our body. Our body became a temple of God. A piece of Him resides in us. And it caused your spirit to be born again. When His Spirit went into your spirit, it was shaken up and born again. And now we have the whirlwind spinning towards the United States of America. Hurricane Elsa, Hurricane Elsa, Hurricane God's promise, Hurricane God's promise. And it's not circumstantial. It's on purpose. And all the signs that I've talked to you about for 4 years, and here comes God's promise. What is God's promise? To redeem us. Is it going to be today or tomorrow or the next day? I don't know, but it could be. Point is to be ready. Are you ready? God spoke to Job through the whirlwind. He's speaking to us through whirlwind Elsa. God bless you.